Welcome, everybody. We are doing a new and exciting second video with my friend and lender, Brian Jensen. Jessen. I always have the name, the Jessen, I have to remember. And Brian is with,
Good, it's fine, yeah.
okay, and he is with Wintrust Mortgage. Our last video was so successful that we felt that there was so much more that Brian wanted to give to all of us about what else is out there, what other programs are available in the lending field. And one of the conversation points we talked about was financing for professionals like doctors. So, Brian, I'm going to kind of bring it to you. You can tell us anything you want to share.
Okay, so there's this is more on the lending side for personal. So you go to buy a house or build or whatever it might be, and people think, oh, medical professionals, you have to be a medical doctor, right? An orthopod or a surgeon to qualify for these programs. And the purpose of the programs are for anybody in the medical field that is more than just a doctor. He's a doctor, obviously, but it could be a veterinarian, could be a dentist, could be somebody coming out of medical school, it could be somebody coming out of their fellowship, it could be a chiropractor, it could be a pharmacist. And there's some other categories as well, veterinarian as an example. So if they're a person that has, high earning potential, and not even necessarily starting their job yet, their new job or their first job out of medical training, we can lend them money based on the fact we know on their future earnings is going to be growing and stable. So, without getting again too much into the weeds, but some highlights. So if you wanted to buy a property and finance up to $850,000, you can actually put no down payment down and get a good interest rate and pay no mortgage insurance, which is usually a fee you'd pay because you're putting less than 20% down. So
Right.
higher than that, so let's say it's more of a move up buyer and they can go to, I'm going to look at my notes here briefly, $1,250,000 mortgage and only put 3% down. And they can get $1.5 million mortgage at 5% down. So obviously it doesn't fit everybody in the world, but you could be a medical professional getting a $500,000 first condo and not put any money down. So it's really exciting that that's available for the public, and it's available in a lot of our footprint states, which is not just Illinois. There's states around the Midwest and a bunch of other states. But it's exciting that we have this program. We have a few other competitors, but they have more limited categories than we do. So we have ones that they don't have pharmacists and they don't have chiropractors and they have some other restrictions. Won't do dentists for some reason. So it's nice that we have all the categories that would fit a lot of the medical professionals. It's not for nurses. It's not for RPNs. People have asked me that. We have other programs certainly for people in those fields, but this is more a lot of expansive categories in the medical field that people that went to some type of medical training school, like a chiropractor, a vet, a dentist, a doctor, all the ones that I mentioned.
So, is this the type of loan that your company holds the paper on, or is this something that is a marketable, it's then traded off to Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac?
No, it actually is a program that's kept by Wintrust, serviced by Wintrust. If we want to modify the rate, if rates come down in the future, you can keep this mortgage and we can modify the interest rate. So it's a more flexible program because it is kept by Wintrust.
Okay, okay. They have a name for that. What's that called?
Portfolio and loans. So we keep
That's
the
what,
books in our portfolio, which you can't do if you're not a bank. So we're a mortgage company within a bank. So we kind of got the best of both worlds. I worked at a mortgage company previous to Wintrust, and I worked at banks previous to the mortgage company. But the previous mortgage company wasn't a bank and wasn't associated with the bank. And some of the competitors that people might have heard of or are in the marketplace would be like a guaranteed rate or rate, I think they're called now. Rocket Mortgage, which used to be called Quicken, or Cross Country, and so on. Some of those mortgage companies, they're not owned by banks, not affiliated by banks, so they can't do portfolio lending because they don't have a deposit base in order to lend out of to do programs like this. So there's definitely the advantage at Wintrust that we have all the programs you'd see at a mortgage company, but then also these proprietary products that you either have to be a bank to have them, or a mortgage company within a bank.
Okay, okay. So with that, I'm going to wrap up this video with you, Brian. And I want to add to the audience, this is one of many that we're going to do. So stay tuned for our next video. And thank you so much for staying into this one, staying and watching this.
I think
So
that Celeste and I had talked about, if you're watching these, is there's so many exciting things about first-time home buyers. We might do a quick one about that because there's some, you don't have to, again, be an expert about it, but there's some things that are pretty exciting to talk about. So
especially right now. So I can't wait. We're going to do that one next.
sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks,